Can everyone be seated, please? Am I on TV? Do you like my shoes? Okay. I am seriously humbled and amazed. I don't have other adjectives. I don't have anything really planned, but I see teachers, I see faculty, I see seniors that have already graduated. I see ex-students who I love, who I am thrilled that you are here. I see parents that have given up time to judge. I see law students that have come back because they like me. I have seen lots of friends. I'm a speech teacher and I'm about to stutter. Thank you. This is wonderful. Before we get going, I have a few thank yous. First and foremost, I want to thank Miss Jones, because without her, this is not possible. She gives us all the support in the world. I have to thank, he's gonna kill me, but I have to thank Mr. Mark Introcaso, because you have to know, every day there are 50, 60 emails that go back and forth between us every day, and he helped me run our first tournament ever back in February, and this thing that we do, this forensics thing that has nothing to do with blood, okay, this thing has turned into this monster, and I am grateful, and I love my job, and my kids and your children are the best in the school, the best. Yeah. So, thank you to Mr. Basie for letting us use the Vienna Center. Thank you. So tonight is about your children. Let them entertain you. See what we're all about every weekend. Before we eat, I would like to bring up my friend and my colleague, Miss Virginia Becker, to lead us in prayer before we eat.
You mean I have to go up there? Can I stay here?
Whatever you want.
Oh, I'd just as soon stay here. And I had to write things because it's a prayer, so I'd best write it. So I guess I need to say good evening. Have I got two? I've got two. Have one. Me too. I need to say good evening to you all for Mrs. Jones, who can't be here this evening, and I get to be the honorary stand-in for Mrs. Jones to say the grace, so I feel like maybe I should change the schedule. But I need to express for Mrs. Jones and Father Kelly, especially Father Kelly, was just thrilled with what this forensics team has done, thrilled with what Jen has done. He said, please express his admiration for all that Jen and you students and you parents have accomplished. So thank you much. And Mrs. Jones really regrets not being here, but here I go. Here's our prayer. Dear Lord, bless this evening's event, especially grace those students who are performing before their most daunting audience of parents and peers. You've already blessed them with talent and with the leadership of Jen Quasman. Bless those students who've graduated to go and will go on to universities and colleges carrying the legacy of the STA speech and debate team, and it is a legacy. And bless those who remain with us for another year so they may continue to compete with the style and grace as they carry on this winning tradition that was established by their predecessors. And last but not least, bless this food, this very delicious food from Blue Moon Fish Company, which we are about to receive. Amen.
Okay. I was given strict instructions how to do this. I would also like to say thank you to Sister John for coming. I like you a lot, thank you. Okay, so we are having a silent auction. So that means we want your money. That means that go out there, bid, and I'm gonna take them down during intermission. And then I'll tell you who the winners are at that point. Does that work? That works. Okay. This is the 100s, 200s, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So, baby ducks, you know your drill. So, can I get my first, the 100s? 100s? Okay, so as they're doing that, let me explain to you where the duck came from, because You'll hear it referenced a lot tonight, the ducks and the baby ducks. I want to say 5 years ago, Amy was probably there. We were at Yale University, and we usually travel in a huge pack. There were about 40 of us. It was myself in the front and Mr. Charles Balcom, English teacher, in the back. He is not here tonight, but I will mention him anyway because he's a dear friend. And Yale is a big rectangle. And what happens is that I lead, and they follow. So I made the turn, and in a row, all of them, the 60 of them, in a line, in a row, we're all following. And I look back, Amanda Strum, where are you? I said to her, I was like, look, they look like little baby ducks in a row. She goes, no, that's not menacing. That's not good enough. And I was like, ants? And she's like, no, stick with the ducks. So the ducks stuck. And that is why they are my ducks. I am Mama Duck. They are the ducks. Go Raiders. Let's eat. Go.
Welcome to the 4th Annual Forensics Dinner Theater. I'm Allie.
And I'm Kaylee.
And we're your MCs for the night.
We joined forensics our freshman year, well, because, let's be honest, we wanted to meet cute boys.
You know what they say, intelligence is sexy.
However, we were sadly mistaken. Only girls do forensics.
Truthfully, if it wasn't for our wonderful coach, Miss Quasman, we probably would have never stuck with the program. We wanted to congratulate Miss Quasman because this year, she celebrated her 30th birthday. As the old saying goes, with age comes wisdom. And Miss Quasman, you're the wisest person we know.
But honestly, we would like to thank Ms. Quasman and the entire team for making this year so enjoyable. We would like to remind everyone that there's a silent auction in the lobby. Cash, credit cards, and checks are accepted. And we would also like to let you know that the centerpieces at your table will be auctioned off at the end of the night.
We would like to thank Father Kelly, Miss Jones, Mr. Basie, the Blue Moon Fish Company, the Statham family, Mr. Introcaso, Miss Noriega, Mrs. Adela Gonzalez, Chris Ruther, Gabriella Rusk, Miss Quasman, and all the parents and teachers that contributed to making this night possible.
To begin our performances, this duo began in Miss Quasman's Period 3 class as a joke. Miss Quasman didn't like it very much, but it became something that everyone looked forward to seeing. And now it's back by popular demand.
Please welcome, performing Bambi, the duo Jake Mathwick and Matthew Wathen.
Early, one spring morning.
Wake up! Wake up! Everybody wake up! Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because the new prince is being born. Are you trying to walk, little guy? Are you trying to walk?
Well, walk!
Jeez, the new prince doesn't walk very good.
Thumper!
Yes, Mama?
What did your father tell you
About what?
about being mean to people?
If you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say it at all. So, what are you gonna call him?
Oh. I think I'm going to call him Bambi. In the 1960s, Walt Disney lured many little children into his backyard and did things I cannot speak of. He showed them the hit movie Bambi. His backyard, Disney World.
Bambi, one of the world's most endearing animated films of all time, really shows the true power of friendship and a true love of nature. Bambi.
By Walt Disney.
Yup, Bambi, that will do all right, I guess. So, Bambi, do you want to go play?
Playtime!
That's a bird. Can you say bird?
Nah.
No, bird.
Nah.
No, a bird-da.
Nah.
Yeah, bird.
Bird! Thumper!
Yes, Mama?
It's time to go home now.
Okay, Mama.
Bird.
Bambi, I have to go home now.
Mother?
Yes?
Mother, what are we going to do today?
Oh, we're gonna go to the meadow. Oh, come on.
Mama, what's the meadow?
Oh, it's a wonderful place.
Well, why haven't I been there before?
You were too young. Hush now, we're almost there.
The meadow!
Wait, Bambi, wait! You must never rush in the meadow. It's a very dangerous place out there. Foreshadowing. There's no trees or bushes for us to hide behind. Foreshadowing. I'll go out first. If the coast is clear, I'll call you out, okay? Okay, Bambi, come on.
Hey, Bambi.
Oh, hiya, Thumper. Hey, what you eating?
Oh, it's a clover. Here, try some. Wait, Bambi, don't eat the whites, the green stuff. Eat the white stuff. That's the good stuff.
Thumper!
Yes, Mama?
What did your father tell you
About what?
about eating the white stuff and not the green stuff?
If you don't have, no, eating green is a great big treat. It makes long ears and great big feet. But it sure is awful, I think so.
Achoo! Bambi, run!
Mama,
Yes, dear?
why did we run?
Well, man was in the forest.
Winter, it's finally here. Mama,
Yes?
Mama, can we go to the meadow today?
Sure. Let's go.
Mama, what's all this white
Wait,
stuff?
Bambi, don't touch that. That's snow.
Oh, snow.
Yes. Bambi, run! Run, Bambi, run! 3.
It's
the next day.
Who are you?
I'm Fallon. You don't remember me?
No.
I'm Fallon. Oh, forget you. Hey, Bambi.
Oh, hiya, Thumper.
Sorry about your mom.
It's all right.
You know, Bambi, you're not the young prince anymore. Well, you're the great prince.
The Great Prince?
Yeah, the great prince.
The Great Prince. I am. I am.
Hey, Allie, how tall are you?
Well, don't let these heels fool you, but I'm literally 5 feet tall.
Our next performance is an original oratory, which basically is a 10-minute speech discussing an issue in society.
And while my oratory talks about the everyday struggle of being a midget, our next performer has a fetish for cats, coffee, and contentment. Please welcome performing her original oratory, Christina Rabionette.
Like most teenage cat ladies these days, I just know I'm doomed to a life without satisfaction. Alone, forever, with my furry, feline friends. Obviously, this disturbing realization has triggered a spiritual crisis. I mean, I have a home, loving parents, a great little brother, and friends and whatnot. But if I can't even muster the energy to be a dog person, then I must be deeply unhappy. Or maybe I just don't drink enough coffee. So I did what any girl in need of some guidance would do, and planned my journey to Bali, where I would meet my happiness guru. Mom, Dad, I said, I need a plane ticket to Bali, so I can unlock the secrets to supreme joy and fulfillment. It's only $1,800. They said no. My parents just didn't understand the extent of this personal tragedy. Jerks. At this point in my predicament, I had nothing to do but wallow in misery and drown my sorrows in coffee. Meanwhile, my brother sat playing with some action figures, rudely interrupting my wallowing by laughing his little head off for no good reason. And that's when I wondered, how is this kid so ridiculously happy all the time? What did he know that I didn't? What philosophical wisdom was this 7-year-old withholding from me? Well, I'm not the only one who's more than a little confused. Nowadays, our society has an unrealistic perception of happiness. Not only do we feel it's our duty to obtain it, but we think there's something wrong with us if we don't. Therefore, we pursue happiness in all the wrong ways, and ultimately, aren't happy. In fact, according to the Pew Research Center, only 1/3 of adults in this country say they're very happy. So now, let us begin our guided meditation to first visualize the past so we can understand where this problem came from. Then we'll open up our chakras so we can see how we're currently closing ourselves off from happiness. And finally, we can embrace our spirit animals while embracing a future where we actually know how to be happy. So I asked my little brother for some tips on meditating, and he told me that an episode of Pokemon put him in an intense trance once. And shockingly enough, that didn't help me at all. But before anyone becomes entranced by touching Spirit Pikachu, we should recognize that ancient people viewed happiness very differently. In his book, Happiness, A History, Professor Darren McMahon explains that the word for happiness in every Indo-European language, from the Old Norse hap to the German Glück, is a cognate for good fortune or luck. Based on these linguistic clues, we can deduce that back in the day, someone's level of contentment was considered a matter of chance. Additionally, the olden philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle all agreed that the happy people were a happy few, because happiness only comes from virtue, and the happy few were a righteous elite. But These old notions, the opposite of today's democratic, feel-good now ideas of happiness, were soon overthrown. The political revolutions that dominated the 18th century gave way to a happiness revolution. More specifically, as our founding fathers drafted the Declaration of Independence, they framed the foundation of our all-American principle that the pursuit of happiness is our inalienable right. So it only made sense to assume that pleasure-seeking is our right too. After all, Benjamin Franklin himself did say, "Beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy." And thus began the radical shift, where what was once called a stroke of luck had evolved into a mentality that made all sorts of shenanigans acceptable. Enter the 1970s, which New York Magazine, the Los Angeles Times, and various other publications have characterized with the classic yellow smiley face, the mantra, "Have a nice day," and the title, "The Me Decade." Naturally, next came the 80s, which BBC News, the Huffington Post, and the 1987 film Wall Street claim had a mantra of its own. Greed is good. And then in the 90s, the age of consumerism must have been born, because that's when I was born. And I just can't stop shopping for Fancy Feast, electronic litter boxes, and deluxe kitty condos. Now, how exactly did this happiness revolution result in our unhappiness? Well, if we open up our chakras and look within, we don't find very much. However, after doing a bit of research, because that's what normal teenagers do, I've discovered that some experts blame our tendency to turn happiness into a product for consumption. Others blame our flawed belief that happiness demonstrates power and control. My brother blames the Dementors. And he's onto something, because our modern view of happiness has a dark side. Starting with the way happiness is now a commodity. We see or even read examples of this every day. That's right, those cheesy self-help books only perpetuate the misconceptions. With titles like Happy All the Time and Instant Happy Notes, 101 sticky note surprises to make you smile. We are led to believe that we're supposed to be happy all day, every day, instantly, and because of sticky notes. It's no wonder why we end up thinking it's our duty to be happy, even though our dispositions are mostly determined by genetics. Various researchers, such as Dr. Mark Holder and David Lycan, have conducted studies which indicate that we don't have the power to make ourselves happy. In reality, about 50% of happiness comes from chromosomal inheritance. So choose your parents wisely. But happiness still demonstrates power and control. So if we don't feel happy, we assume something's wrong with us. We feel compelled to hide our sadness and therefore suppress underlying problems, rather than solve them. An analysis of over 50,000 patients conducted by the Leicestershire Partnership Trust shows that general practitioners fail to identify depression in 52.7% of cases. Often, patients play down their grief and stop at nothing to hide their symptoms. Sometimes the outcome is devastating. My grandfather lived a life of constant sadness, which he hid because he considered it a sign of weakness. Always the life and soul of the party, he had no interest in antidepressants, and instead self-medicated with alcohol, which, ironically, is a depressant. At age 43, he died of liver failure, and I never had the chance to meet him. Too many people are secretly dying inside. There are too many people who we will never meet because they hid their true emotions behind fake laughter and forced smiles. Fortunately, we can prevent these upsetting consequences by simply stepping out of our comfort zones, not just to embrace spirit animals, but more importantly, to embrace unhappiness. We need to accept that it's only natural to not be happy all the time. In fact, it can even be beneficial. According to author and professor Eric Wilson, unhappiness motivates us to improve ourselves and the world around us. Also, without the bad times, we wouldn't appreciate the good times. Without sadness, happiness would just be an average feeling. Furthermore, recent surveys published by Time Magazine and the New York Times suggest that the best mood boosters are exercise, which pumps up the endorphins, and gratitude journals, where subjects make daily lists of what they're thankful for. But the foolproof solution to our misguided pursuit of happiness is to simply stop pursuing our own happiness. Instead, we should focus on the well-being of others. The aforementioned surveys revealed that altruism is the ultimate source of happiness for all demographics. And Dr. Christopher Peterson highly recommends volunteering because it makes people less self-centered, gives them a sense of purpose, and promotes a sense of community. In the words of Henry David Thoreau, happiness is only real when shared. What Thoreau forgot to add is that younger brothers suck at sharing. But even if my little bro refuses to share the secret key to euphoria, and therefore is totally not a bro, I have a sneaking suspicion that he doesn't know what this elusive key is either, which is why he's my new happiness guru. I mean, let's be serious. Have you ever seen a child reading a self-help book, attending a support group, or applying a bunch of special rules to be happy? Of course not. Because kids are just naturally cheerful and living proof that true joy comes to those who don't expect or demand it. So, with my brother's help, I can overcome my spiritual crisis, kick my caffeine addiction, and more fully enjoy the quality time I spend with my precious kittens. All by just realizing that before I stopped to wonder whether or not I was happy, I was perfectly happy, just the way I was.
Now, we would like to take a minute and invite someone very special up to the stage from our team. As underclassmen ourselves, this person has been with us through every failure and success we've had.
Please welcome our president, Gabriella Rusk.
I don't know if it's just because it involves cat ladies and Pokemon, but I think your oratory is kind of the cutest thing in the world.
So, as I said, I'm Gabriella Rusk, and I'm president of the forensics team. Wow, thank you. Honestly, this is amazing. This is so incredible for us, and as a team, this is such a step up from the cafeteria. I will definitely say that. So thank you, everybody who made this night possible. I also want to thank the parents of the forensics team. I don't think you guys get thanked enough, but I know that this is probably the most expensive extracurricular activity, but all of the support that you guys give us and you judging our tournaments and buying our suits and being here tonight really, really means a lot to us. So thank you on behalf of the team for that. I also want to thank our teachers, all the teachers that are here tonight. Thank you. Thank you for being so understanding when we miss school for trips and stuff. You guys are great. You make it so easy for us, and we really, really do appreciate it because we love to keep up our grades because we're those kids. And lastly, thank you to the administration. You recognizing the establishment that this team has become has really, really helped us to grow so wonderfully over the past 4 years. And honestly, I don't think there's any other team at St. Thomas or any other club that gets to be on the announcements every Monday morning. So that's really fun. So 4 years ago, I was a freshman, and we were in room 201, which is the smallest classroom at St. Thomas, or one of the smallest. And I remember Miss Quasman coming into me one morning, and she was like, "Gabby, I'm so excited. We have a shelf." And I was like, "This is great." We had one shelf to put our trophies on because they used to be on the floor. And we were so excited about this shelf. And now we're in 117, which is the biggest classroom at St. Thomas, and we have a whole wall of shelves for our trophies. So, we have 2 walls. We're almost at 2 walls. So if that doesn't show you how much the program has grown over the past 4 years, and I don't know what else does. But anyway, I wanted to say, forensics, I have given a lot to the forensics team over the past couple of years. We give of our time as as a team, every one of us gives practicing, and we spend time rehearsing and researching, and we get up on Saturdays and we put suits on, and so there's some times when it's dark out and I'm putting pantyhose on and I'm driving to a tournament that I wonder, why do I do this? Why would I voluntarily do this, give up my weekend and my social life? But then, I realize that I do it because forensics gives back to you in so many other ways. As much as you give to it, it gives right back to you. Yes, you can put it on your college resumes. That's really great, but I'm already in college, so that's not why I'm here. Forensics, you learn how to speak publicly, and you're probably the most popular kid in your class when a group project is given out, but that's also not why I do it. The reason I do forensics is because of the people on this team. We really, really are a big family, and I really do mean that. As cliche as that sounds, every single person on this team I feel I'm so close to, and I feel that we have this special bond that I don't have with any other group of people. So, I think that unlike other teams where, forensics is an event where you are sometimes competing against your own teammates, but on the forensics team, I don't feel that I'm ever competing against any of my teammates. If I lose, it's okay because they win, and we all win as a team. And I think that's really, really special. I think that the forensics team, we are close. We have this closeness and this camaraderie amongst us, and we're kind of like brothers and sisters, and Quasman's like our mama duck or something. I don't know. But I've been very blessed to have been able to make my mark at St. Thomas through forensics. But I'm also very lucky because St. Thomas and forensics has been able to make its mark on me. So next year when I go to college, I'll be able to take all these memories and all of the good times and things like tonight with me, because I definitely feel that they have shaped me into the person that I am today. So I want to thank everyone here. Thank you so much. Thank you to the entire team. Just thank you for liking forensics and liking us. So all my love, live the dream, go America. Thanks.
I held it. I almost cried. Almost. Okay. We're passing the torch.
Because we graduated on Sunday. We graduated. We're done.
I'm losing a lot of really amazing students, but I have a lot of amazing students becoming seniors, and I have a lot of amazing students becoming juniors and freshmen, and it's a snowball effect, and I could not be happier. So I'm gonna do it now. They don't know, it's a sneak attack. I'm gonna announce next year's president right now. So, tightest race in my 7 years. Miss Erin Hughes, you're my new president. They should hug. That means Erin graduates next year, and that's sad. Yes. Liam, you're my vice president. Come on, pretty princesses.
Now, please welcome the Extemp team up to the stage. The next President of the United States, Erin Hughes. The next host of Saturday Night Live, Bruno Mastro di Casa.
Hey everybody, we make up the St. Thomas Extemp team, and I'm Bruno.
And I'm Erin.
And for the past 2 years, Erin and I have been doing Extemp together, and we have been the only two that have been involved in the program at St. Thomas. However, this year, we recently added a third member to the team, and unfortunately, she didn't want to perform with us this evening. Because as usual, she put food in front of our friendship.
Hey, Rachel. That's you. So Extemp is basically an event of saying a 5-paragraph essay out loud. And it sounds crazy, but you get 30 minutes to write, memorize, and incorporate about 7 sources into a 7-minute speech. And it's broken up into 2 different categories, domestic and international.
Domestic is the event that I do, and it only involves United States issues. So anything involved with the United States when it comes to the economy, politics, social issues, religion, involves my expertise in the United States and how it affects us. Whereas Aaron involves the entirety of the international community.
Yeah, we pretty much incorporate speeches from all the different countries of the world and different aspects of them. And it really allows you to learn a lot, not only about what's going on in the world around you, but how to make it relate to what's going on with you in your own life or in the United States also. So we pretty much learn to master the 5-paragraph essay in a 30-minute period and work on being able to just form sentences and a structured speech in a short amount of time to say it so you kind of are persuading someone to believe in what you're saying.
We know our English teachers love it. But it's been a real honor to do Extemp with Erin over the past couple of years, especially because now she just won president. So being able to do Extemp with Erin over the past couple of years has been a really good blessing, especially because she's taught me a lot about how to do Extemp and how to be a really good student at St. Thomas. And I'm glad I've spent the last 3 years doing Extemp with Erin and Rachel as well.
See, he's trying to be nice, but really, if you remember last year and the year before, he spent a solid 10 minutes making fun of me, so this won't last long.
It's just too easy. But thank you guys very much for coming out tonight, and we're glad to have you, and we hope that the rest of the evening goes very well.
Thank you.
Our next performance is oral interpretation. Oral interpretation consists of 10 minutes of a poetry program and 10 minutes of a prose program. Oral interpretation is the only event that uses a prop. Please welcome to the stage performing her poetry, Shelby Statham, followed by Samantha Reedy performing her prose.
You see these sharks, thousands of sharks. They came after me after I called them ugly sharks. You see, this one's in the shape of a lady. I got it from kissing the devil in the manner of the French, and I did it because the devil dared me to, and my pappy done told me you always take on the devil's dares. It's how you prove to him you ain't a wuss. I don't have a pappy who done tell me these things. But obviously, our scars, like accidental tattoos, carry stories that we tell whenever prompted. And because of the storyteller and their personal brushes with varying degrees of danger, each scar will inevitably reflect their keeper's personalities. Scars are the shamans of their skin, storytellers of their flesh, walking reminders of the pain their identities have endured. If a butterfly flapping its wings in Beijing could cause a hurricane on the coast of Florida, so too could a woman reading a book of poems. A tiny current from a turn page slipping out an open window, nudging a passing breeze, an insignificant event that could snowball, months later into a monsoon. You know, hard to believe, but when I rewind my life, starting from a point where my heart was destroyed by a hurricane of grief, I see the dominoes rising. Now that storm was just a gust days earlier. Finally, I can see where it all began. I say hello to a woman sitting alone at the bar, a tattooed butterfly perched on her ankle, ready to wreak havoc. In the mid-1980s, New York City had a problem, and that problem was crack squirrels. Crack squirrels, the newspaper headlines read. Crack squirrels, the news anchors announced. Crack squirrels. The northern part of Central Park had become infested with crack squirrels. Jonesing, twitching, addicting crack squirrels who would do anything for their next fix. Crack squirrels. How did this happen? Who got these squirrels so addicted to crack? In 1960, meteorologist Edward Lorenz developed a theory which he titled the butterfly effect. This branch of chaos theory explains how one small change in our past causes monumental repercussions in our future. When applied to explaining the human condition, the butterfly effect explains how something as small as a mark on our skin, or something as important as the way we were raised, develops us into the person that we eventually become. By weaving together the poems of Christine O'Keefe Aptowitz, Robbie Q. Telfer, Sierra DeMulder, and Rachel McKibbins, we can form a program on the butterfly effect, how the insignificant become significant. Now I present for your consideration my real scars, see if you can figure out who I am. See, on the inside of my right palm, a piece of pencil lead. I got it from when I jerked my hand away from my first and last sixth grade friend after he tried to wipe his boogies on me. You see, about my face, chest, and arms, chicken pox craters. Now, I'd started getting the little poxes on my first and last trip to Orlando. And you know, I thought they was zits, so I kept aggressively popping them. I caught you once. Killing a squirrel in the backyard with a rock. Your 8-year-old body shivering, illuminated. Through tears, you told me that you loved it. I assumed you meant the squirrel. In the mid-1980s, the crack epidemic hit New York City hard, and the newly minted addicts took their rocks to Central Park to hit their high, and when they were done, they left their trash behind. Crack vials, dose foils, discarded pipes, and when scavenging for food, the jovial, fat, and up until this point, straight-edge vegan squirrels found their trash. And they started sniffing the empty vials, licking the discarded pipes, and they liked it. They liked it a lot. They liked it too much. They became crack squirrels. My son comes to me holding 13 severed tulip heads, a present he's just made for me or something. Now I knock the flowers from his hand, grab his arm, and remove him from the crime scene. You know, I have to explain to him the lake, the trees, the flowers, they're not ours. And I watch something bright and alive go pale in his eyes. His head lowers like those flowers, their little broken necks. He does not speak again. You know, a mama forgets what her weapons can do. Can't know which of her failures will be the one that does it. See, on the back of my head, the roof of a bank blew off and landed on me in the passenger seat of a Chevy Suburban. Was the first and last time I'd ever driven in a tornado watch. It's also the first and last time a bank landed on the back of my head. You see, on my right shin, I fell and slipped in paint while playing paintball for the first and second to last time. You know, I wanted to go back to see if playing paintball was really the absolute worst thing a human being could do with their spare time. Turns out it is. Your father told the reporters that when I was pregnant with you, I experienced seizure-like fits. Foaming at the mouth, my swollen body would stiffen and my eyes would peel back like paint as if I were trying to look at you. You know your brother legally changed his last name from Dahmer? But I cannot erase the stretch marks. I still see your eyes in my mirrors, the scars where they pulled you like Persephone from my stomach. Crack squirrels, the police said, can't survive on crack alone. They're barely eating, they're barely drinking, they're spending their free time attacking humans for crack. These animals aren't meant for this world. What we should focus on is how to get the humans to stop taking crack, and the squirrel problem will take care of itself. This morning, I found 13 tulip heads waited nervously at the foot of my bed. So I gathered them in a blanket, kissed each tiny face, and gave them names. One is a crumpled photograph of myself I'll find in the garbage. 2 is our dog smacked with a tire iron. 3, the first time that he says screw you and means it. 4, the heavy girl he can't bring himself to love. 5, my empty wallet. 6, hot and piss and vomit on his carpet. See, my right palm friendless, my face, chest, and arms dumbass. The back of my head sport of the gods. My right shin dumbass. My scars, my stupid stories, I'm stuck with them. And my mirror speakers bleed to me daily. Remember, remember, remember. Press the delete key and erase the tales that fill the holes where my skin used to be the day your apartment building was gutted and paved over. I began to obsess over your baby pictures, looking for anything that could predict the way you loved seeing things turned inside out, but there is no reminiscing here. No one wants to hear how you were a wonderful child. They only want to watch your car crash of a life on repeat, your adolescent obsession with roadkill. How could I possibly not see this coming? They say 7, a lock on your bedroom door. 8, the word faggot scratched across a face in the yearbook. 9, the 8th time that he says screw you and means it. 10, silence at Christmas. 11, the shared needle. 12, drunk at his father's funeral. Did I squeeze your hand too tightly when we crossed the street? Child, when your father and I fought at night, did you mistake it for lovemaking? Did I teach those fingers to pluck families apart like flower petals? I love you. I love you still, darling. Was it the sound of the dead dog's bones as your father dropped them one by one into the bucket that seduced you? Did it sound too much like your pulse? Did you put your own heart into the freezer next to the thought of me? Would Mary be forsaken if Jesus had not grown to be the Son God had intended to father, if he did not wear a crown of thorns but instead wrap them around his knuckles? Will I be forgiven for the sins that I did not commit but created? When you were young, I told you you could grow up to be whatever you wanted to be. At 13, I have to press a flower against my ear. Its voice is so thin. 13. Mama, do you remember the day in the park? It was your birthday, I think. Do you remember how small I was? Do you remember how you didn't even say thank you? If I could, I would have excellent scars, received as symbols for love lost, for those lost that I need to be reminded of, that the impact that they've had on my skin and its expansion into this awkward woman, that the landscape of my body is exactly what it is because of them. Stories are deceptions, but if we tell the right ones, intangible progress is possible. I'm only sorry my scars are not excellent, but I promise more awkward accidents. I promise more loss. There will be more pieces of me, buried, burned, scraped, and scorned, and they're all reserved for you.
Well, my father is at it again. Saturday, 2:35 a.m., while all normal fathers are sleeping, mine stumbles through the door, breaks a vase, and then proceeds to eat a plate of cold lasagna face first. And now, if you ever find your father in this position, some advice. Flip on the light in the upstairs hall, flip it off, flip it on again. Do this until he finally lifts his head and squints around the kitchen, until you can see that he hasn't suffocated on ricotta cheese. Later, when you're back in bed, listen for the uneven shred of his feet on the stairs. You will hear the clean thwack of some part of his body hitting something solid in the hall, and you will hear him swear. In the morning, there will be a bruise on your father's cheek, or shin, or elbow, but he won't remember how it got there. No, he won't remember a thing. It is not hard to find the truth. What is hard is not running away from it once you have found it. In Natasha Friend's Lush, Samantha, the daughter of a struggling alcoholic father, must come to terms with the truth of her father's addiction. His and her struggle shows us that there can be hope in even the most unpromising of situations. Lush, by Natasha Friend. I don't know why my father drinks. One minute my dad is sitting quietly watching the ball game, drinking Jim Beam, and the next he's slamming doors and swearing. I like it best when he's passed out on the couch under a blanket. But sometimes, I don't care if he ever wakes up. It sounds confusing, I know, but when your father would rather drink than breathe, that's just how it goes. So I've written a note. I'm just waiting for the right person to give it to. Hi, you may think it's nuts to write to a total stranger in the library, but if you're the kind of person I think you are, you'll read this anyways. My name is Samantha. Sam. Here is the deal. My dad is an architect at a firm in town, but he is a total mess. My dad is a big alcoholic. I worry about him and want to punch his lights out in the same second. The only person I can honestly say is not making me crazy is my little brother Luke. But he's only 4, so how much does that help? So if you ever have time to tell me what you would do in my shoes, write back. I'll check for a response note in the history of modern whaling, this library book that hasn't been checked out in 13 years. I'll check between pages 32 and 33 on Friday. Well, thanks for listening. I will be looking for your reply, if you decide to, that is. No pressure or anything. Sam. I leave the note on the 4th carol from the left. Tomorrow it will be there, waiting. My mom wants my dad to go to something for alcoholics, a place called AA. But he says no. He's not an alcoholic, he tells her. He knows he drinks too much and he's going to cut back. Way back. There are going to be some changes around here. Big changes. Okay, I know I'm supposed to feel better hearing this, but I don't. It's the same old speech with different words. 4:45 on Friday, and the library is deserted. In the stacks, it's showtime, Sam versus the history of modern whaling. Well, I have to go to page 32, no matter if there's nothing there, no matter if all that's waiting for me is whales, 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 and more. Well, what do you know? A piece of paper. Dear Samantha Sam, stop trying to fix your father. You can't. The sooner you face the facts, the better off you'll be. Before I leave for school on Monday, I make my rounds. I've been checking the bottles I know are hidden daily to see if the levels go down. There's a glass in the bathroom next to my father's toothbrush with a drop of brown liquid in the bottom. When I dip my finger in it and taste it, I get half my answer. The other half comes from the near-empty bottle behind the toilet. Yesterday, it was full. Here is the part where I get to say, I told you so. My father is drinking again. And the truth is, I don't think he ever stopped. He just pretended harder. Dinner time. My father is making his version of dinner for me and Luke. Frozen fish sticks and a can of baked beans. He's telling us he'll be working on an architecture project all night, and he would really appreciate it if we kept the noise level down. Come on, I say to Luke, let's go upstairs. Later, Luke is thirsty, and no, he doesn't want water from the bathroom sink. He wants grape juice and cranberry juice mixed, just like Mommy makes it. Well, what is a person supposed to do? Let him wither away from dehydration? I bring Luke downstairs to the living room. I go into the kitchen to pour juice. When I get back, the Wiggles are blasting, and Luke is in full bounce and flop mode, singing his little heart out. I look at the door to my father's study. I think about him sitting at the desk, pulling the bottle out of the second drawer on the left, and taking a long swig. I hop up on the couch next to Luke and just let loose. I bounce and flop and sing, but all I can do is watch the door to the study, waiting. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Hey, keep it down in there. At the sound of his voice, the usual pit forms in my stomach, but along with it, a white-hot flash of anger in my chest. What? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. That's when the door to the study swings open and he stumbles out, a fistful of blueprints in one hand, in the other, a near-empty bottle of Jim Beam. I want to place a single finger on his chest and just push. I want to say, look at yourself. You think you're an architect, but you're really just a bum. The only thing that stops me is Luke, who is still bouncing away on the couch, thinking it's all a game. Luke jumps next to our father and throws his hands in the air. What he doesn't realize is he's holding a full cup of juice. What happens next is like a slow-motion movie clicking by frame by single frame. Juice flying in the air, click, click, click. Juice splashing against the blueprints, click, click, click. Dad raising the bottle in the air above Luke's head, click, click, click. Bottle cracking against Luke's face, click, click, click. Blood everywhere. Luke is home from the hospital and looking like a small relative of Frankenstein. The right side of his face is all purple and puffy, with a black line of sutures running from his nose to his ear. The doctor said he'll go back to normal in a week or so. Huh. Normal. Sam, it's time we met. Library parking lot, 8:30 tomorrow morning. Well, I'm about to skip school for the first time ever. I'm a block away from the library, frozen to the sidewalk. There's only one car in the parking lot, a lime green station wagon. The person sitting in that car knows me better than anyone else. Knows about my dad and about Luke's face. Everything. The driver's door cracks open, and a shoe steps out. An ugly shoe. I look at it confused because I know that shoe. The door is opening wider. He is getting out, standing up, reaching out to me, and I can't breathe. There he is, my father. I'm glad you're here, Sammy, because I have something to tell you. And it's important, Sam. Will you look at me, Sam? I don't know how to do this, but I'm an alcoholic. He admitted it, finally. It's the first time I heard him say it out loud. There are so many things I could say to him right now. Sarcastic things, snotty things. But in this one moment, a thought slams into my head. 1 minute, a person is driving you crazy and making you want to shake them. And the next minute, you realize what a crappy place the world would be without them.
Now we'd like to bring the Congress and debate team to the stage.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Diego Enriquez. I'm a senior and I'm congressional debate captain.
Hi, my name is Courtney Brunson. I do public forum debate, and I'm standing in for Chloe Maru as a debate captain tonight.
So, like Ms. Quasman, before we go on with anything else, first of all, of course, thank Mr. Ruther for making that awesome video. And then we want to pass down our slightly smaller torches, maybe even candles. So, next year's congressional debate captain is the beautiful and the amazing Hannah Kern. Stand up.
Be recognized. And next year's public forum captain is going to be Mr. Joey Grossman. Stand up, Joey.
So after Interp and after all of the wonderful things you've seen today, we also have another half of the team, which is our debate side. I do congressional debate, which is basically model United States Congress. So I spend my weekends with people telling me and calling me Senator Enriquez because I'm really cool. So what we do is we pass or fail fake legislation and give 3-minute speeches on whether we support it or why we don't support it, and then we have a 1-minute direct examination. We usually have 3-hour rounds, and for preliminary sessions, we have 3 3-hour rounds, and then 1 to 2 3-hour rounds for semifinals, and then another one for finals, with all new topics, so you stay up prepping. So by the end of the tournament, if you make it to finals, you've been debating for 15 to 18 hours and slept about 2. So if you see my ever graceful coffee drinking, that's why. I really love it. It's a great way to talk about many different things within one span of time.
Now, in contrast, because I don't like debating 3 hours straight, I do an event called Public Forum Debate. When I have a partner, my partner is Kelly Zimmerman, and what we basically do is we have a different topic each month that we debate, and we have a 45-minute round where we basically argue, and we have direct contact with our opponents, where we can basically argue with them, but still have to get our point across. And I just love the event because you have the ability to directly argue with someone, but the fact is you can't just win around by yelling and screaming. You have to be persuasive. So that's pretty much why I love Public Forum Debate.
But we also love debate past the friends and the traveling and all the great stuff we do because it's a good learning activity. And besides, learning about China's currency and all the other awesome stuff we learn about, you also learn a lot of good life skills. In Congress, you have to schmooze a lot with people you might not necessarily like and, really learn how to talk to people who you might not get along with. Hi, Chris.
I thought you didn't like him.
I don't.
Okay.
You also have to learn to be really poised, and as you can tell from my dancing on the video, I'm not. And the third and most important thing that I've learned is how to talk for extended periods of time about things I know nothing about.
Okay. Senator Enriquez, how would you say the presence of public-private partnerships in the American Midwest has established the building of highways?
Well, ever since the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, which was published in 2008 by President Obama, we've seen the plight of the blue-collar worker happening within the United States economy, which has been fixed by PPPs and the building of highways within the Midwest.
You didn't actually answer the question.
Impressive, right?
Yeah. Okay, now that I think about it, I've kind of learned a few new skills too. For example, I've learned this thing that a lot of the times in debates, you're going to learn something that you didn't quite know about. So if your opponent asks you a question that you don't know the answer to or you don't have a good answer to, you can simply block and redirect. And what that basically means is if they ask you a question and you don't want to answer it, you just swerve the conversation into something different and pretend like you're actually winning.
Ms. Brunson, early on in the debate, your partner stated that Pakistan's drone strikes, which also have civilian casualties, are the best way to end the war on terror. Well, then after you stated that counterinsurgency or winning the hearts and minds of the people is the best way to go about. However, if you're trying to win the hearts and minds of the people and killing them at the same time, isn't that counterintuitive?
I don't think so, because what you're actually doing is the only way
But-
you can win the hearts and minds of the people
Ms. Brunson,
is by making sure that
are you
they're
gonna let
alive
me
in the
finish?
first place. No. Well, now that I think about it, something that I also learned is that when debates do get really hostile, you kind of have to bring it down and make it a more cordial atmosphere. So a way I basically do it is say very corny jokes. And I can actually credit this one to Kelly Zimmerman. Okay, you ready for this? Okay. Since the United States war on terror, the United States has been between Iraq and a hard place. Oh my God, they actually thought it was funny. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly Zimmerman.
And on that note, thank you for listening.
Now, last but certainly not least, a rendition of the Book of Mormon from Broadway. Please welcome the duo of Marcos Gonzalez and Liam Ferroli.
Ding dong, hello, eternal life is super fun. And if you let us in, we'll show you how it can be done. Hello, my name's Elder Price, and I would like to share with you the most amazing book. Ding dong, hello, 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 hello.
Hello, my name's Elder Cunningham. Would you like to change religions? Because I have this free book written by Jesus.
Hello.
Oh, God.
Take this free book.
Sorry.
You simply won't believe how much this book will change your life.
That was very good indeed, elders. You have been training for 3 months and are now ready to spread the word. In a moment, you'll be assigned your mission companions and locations.
This is it. The most important part of a Mormon kid's life is his mission.
Form a line and step forward when your name is called. Elder Young and Elder Grant, your mission location is Norway.
A chance to go out in the world.
Elder White and Elder Smith, your mission location is France.
I wonder where my mission location will be. China, Australia, Old Mexico. I pray that I go to my favorite place, Orlando.
Elder Price.
Yes, sir.
Your brother will be Elder Cunningham. Hey, that's me. Hello. And your mission location is Uganda.
Uganda?
Oh boy, like Lion King. The Dalai Lama once said, "It is easy to talk on religion, but difficult to practice it."
But when two polar opposite Mormon missionaries are sent to Uganda for their mission trip, it makes them question just how strong their faith in the Mormon church actually is.
Like these elders, our society has misinterpreted what it means to believe in something bigger. Whatever the idea, religious or not, the foundation of our belief should not be based on what others may think is right,
but our own desire to do good in the world.
The Book of Mormon.
By Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and Robert Lopez.
Goodbye, son. We are so proud.
Can't we see if I get transferred a little bit closer to home? Like Florida?
Ah, son. Heavenly Father has a hand in everything. Now get out there and baptize some Africans.
Ow!
It's just you and me now.
Yep.
According to missionary rule number 72, we are never to go anywhere without each other. Well, except the bathroom.
Yep, that's right.
It's awesome, because usually my friends end up leaving me. But you can't. I lie a lot.
You what?
Yeah, I lie a lot. Bishop Donahue says because I have a low self-esteem and desperately want to fit in with my peers.
Look, I like having just as much fun as the next guy, but it's time for me to prove myself worthy.
Worthy of what?
Well, I want to be the Mormon who changes all of mankind.
And I can stand next to you and watch.
You and me. But mostly me. 2 by 2, I guess it's you and me. We're off to preach across land and sea.
Here we are, we made it.
That was one long trip.
Wow. What do you think of Uganda, Elder?
I think it's kinda different.
Yeah, different.
Hi, we're supposed to,
American, your bags!
Oh, yes, of course. We're at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
This will be your tariff to the general butt naked.
The general butt naked? Wait a minute.
Shut up! You wanna die?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Just take the bags. Why are you doing this?
There you are. Thank goodness I have found you. I am Nabalungi.
Oh, hello, John Bon Jovi.
Nabalungi.
Bon Jovi.
Let us return to the village. Oh, and one piece of advice. No matter how hot it gets at night, keep your windows closed at all times. It is the only way to protect yourself against the scorpions. Oh, and the mosquitoes. Oh, and the murderers, and the robbers, and the AIDS. And the Safarians, which can actually plant their AIDS inside your body and eat you from the inside out.
Oh. Okay.
Can you believe this, Elder?
Yeah, I know. She is such a hot shade of black. Like a latte.
Let's just go inside.
We get to sleep right next to each other. Oh.
This isn't at all what I expected.
Hey, remember what you told me. You are awesome. And together, we're going to bring a lot of Africans to the church. Good night, best friend.
Good night, pal.
2 by 2, we go from door to door, 'cause God loves Mormons and he wants some more.
All right, just let me do all the talking and you just support what I'm saying by going, oh, wow.
I'm like that lady in the infomercials that goes, oh, wow, what an incredible offer.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just try this little house.
They've got no doorbells.
They what?
They've got no doorbells. What do we do?
All right, calm down. Just let me take this one. Hello. Did you ever ask yourself about that strange feeling inside?
Yes!
And it's because you want to believe in something more, isn't it?
No, it is because I have maggots in my scrotum.
You what?
Yes, I have maggots in my scrotum. You can help, you can fix.
Well, I think you should see a doctor.
Oh, I am the doctor.
But what about paradise?
Yeah, and if you order now, we'll also throw in a set of steak knives.
What are you doing?
Oh, just doing my part, because we're a team.
The Book of Mormon doesn't say anything about steak knives.
Well, I never actually read it. I lied.
You what?
Yeah, it's just really boring.
That's it. I'm not wasting the most important 2 years of my life here.
But what about Rule 72? We gotta be together at all times, remember?
I can't do something incredible here. I'm getting a transfer.
Well, if you want to transfer, then that's what we're doing. I'm with you, buddy.
I didn't say we're transferring. I said I am.
Oh, I see.
Look, you and I just aren't compatible.
Well, we only became best friends a few days ago.
We are not best friends. I'm just stuck with you. Wait, I didn't mean...
No. It's okay. I know how it goes.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Heavenly Father, why do you let bad things happen to me? I'm going where you need me most. Orlando. Orlando, I'm here, and it's even more amazing than I imagined. But I don't remember getting here, or the plane landing. Where am I?
Kevin Price?
Mickey?
No! You now dwell in eternal flame.
Oh God, how could I have done this to you?
Dominus!
How could I break Rule 72?
Rectus!
And now my mission companion's all alone.
Spookitus, down thy soul is cast from the earth. Whence he fell, the path of fire leads thee to a spooky Mormon hell dream. You are having a spooky Mormon hell dream now.
Hitler?
I thought the Vaughn killed millions of Jews.
Genghis Khan?
I thought it's the Chinese.
Johnny Cochran?
I got O.J. Freed.
Please let me wake up. Please.
Elder Price, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had a bit of a meltdown last night.
Oh yeah, well what happened?
I woke up. That's what happened. Look, when I was 9 years old, my parents took me to Orlando. And I said, this is where I want to spend eternity. They said if I made Heavenly Father proud and did exactly what the church wanted, that I could have Orlando. But look at me now. I thought I could fly in and change everything. I made it about myself.
Hey, don't worry. Tomorrow's a latter day.
Right, and we're still Latter-day Saints. We can fix this.
Yeah! But a lot of these people are really scared of that general butt-naked guy.
Don't worry, I got this all under control. I'm a Mormon, god dang it, and a Mormon just believes.
I am General Butt Naked, because when I kill and drink blood for power, I do it butt naked. Now, there are rumors of those in this village trying to oppose me.
We do not oppose you. We do what you say.
There is only one law you will obey in this village, and that is mine. Hello, everyone.
Elder Cunningham?
Oh, hey, Neosporin.
Napalungi!
Is everyone in this village joining some religious cult?
Put that gun down, because it won't Whoa! Put that gun down, because it won't work. And if you don't, the Angel Moroni will come down from the Starship Enterprise and release the Kraken, which will then
shoot Joseph Smith torpedoes from its mouth of Christ.
Right. And don't think he can't do it. We did.
That was awesome! but what about all that made up stuff?
Don't you see? It doesn't matter if the stories are true or not. It's about helping people. Together.
So you want to stay here with me?
Of course I do. You're my best friend. You and me. Ding dong, hello, our church is growing strong. And if you let us in, we'll show you how you can belong. Hello,
join in our family
and set your spirit free. And we can fully guarantee you that this book will change your life.
So a couple of things. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you for putting up with the emails and the kids missing school. And thank you for allowing them to make up work. Thank you. Thank you to Mr. Basie. Thank you to Miss Gonzalez and donating the flowers. Thank you to everybody that, Miss Reedy, I see you in the audience. Thank you to those that provided for the silent auction. Go pick up your stuff, pay us. Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Mrs. Introcaso, because this was your vision. Thank you to Miss Mathwich for helping set up today when I was having a meltdown. You saw it, nobody has to know, it's our secret. Thank you. Thank you to Bryce. Bryce, I want you to wave so everybody sees you. That is Blue Moon Fish Company, thank you to him. It is amazing. Thank you to Miss Statham, who is sitting right there, his lovely wife. Thank you. And I know I've already said it, but I have to say it again. Well, before I say that, to my seniors, I'm in room 117. Come back. Thank you for coming back. Come back. Come back. We love you. Come back. Okay? Do great things. Enjoy college. And I have to bring him up because I know he doesn't want to come up. I'm looking right at you. So you're going to come up. You can shake your head all you want. I don't really care. Mr. Introcaso, can you please come here? You're my saint. I could not have done anything, and I mean anything without you, and I think you're wonderful, and thank you for listening to me and emailing me, and this is from me to you. Look how fast he wants to get off the stage. Look at him. 8 days of school left. Thank you so much. Go home. Thank you.